And let's get it. This is the Back Row Bengals show, all brought to you by fansided.com. Head over there, read my blogs, read other people's blogs, but you can read all about the Cincinnati Bengals, all written by me and other talented writers that we have on the Fansided website. I am your host, Josh Miller, and today we are recapping the absolute whooping that we delivered to the Baltimore Ravens for the second time. Bengals win 41-21. Joe Burrow with a historic day, 525 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Absolutely putting it on the Ravens, setting a message for not only this year, but we're sending a message for basically years to come that this is what you're going to have to face. This is what you're going to have to deal with. And I think Zach Taylor wanted to make a point here, not only to the Ravens, especially to the Ravens, but to the AFC North as a whole. The Bengals are here to stay. These weapons that we have, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, and then obviously Joe Burrow, having just phenomenal days, having great seasons. T. Higgins goes over 1,000 yards. I believe Jamar Chase is over 1,000 yards. Mixon is over 1,000-yard rusher. Joe Burrow has eclipsed 4,000 yards and threw for the most passing yards in Bengals history on Sunday against their division rival, the Baltimore Ravens. Now, obviously, we got plenty of Ravens fans in our comments trying to downplay what this Bengals team did. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is the NFL. And the reason that they were downplaying the win is because they had a lot of guys out on defense. Oh, why is that going off? Sorry. There should be no sound whatsoever. Um, but anyway, the reason that they were off playing this is because they had so many guys out. But listen, it's the NFL. You make it work. We've had plenty of guys out. They didn't take it easy on us last year when we had everybody out. When we had Ryan F. and Finley at the helm here, and they didn't take any. They didn't take any backward steps. And I got to tell you, you're seeing teams around the league who have tons of guys out that are still finding a way to get it done. The Colts are a great example. Going to Arizona, they got plenty of guys out, and they just found a way to win against a very good Arizona team. Shout out to AJ Green. That being said, let's get back to the game in Cincinnati on Sunday. I want to give a shout out to the city of Cincinnati. The crowd was absolutely electric. It was great to see. Absolutely electric. It was awesome to feel the energy and to feel like, and there were some little dots of purple in there, but nothing to where what we usually think, what is usually there. And I think maybe obviously being the second game of an ass whooping and like, there's probably another one coming and another one game, probably kept away a lot of, fans from Baltimore. But I got to say, the Bengals overall had themselves another stellar performance, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Can we just talk about how great T. Higgins is? My goodness, what a draft pick that was. And there were some questions because obviously I think a lot of the Bengals fan base was feeling, ooh, is this another John Ross pick? But I knew like as soon as we drafted him, I was like, this dude is gonna be a dog, and he has been a dog. He's absolutely been insane. Again, he eclipses 1,000 yards. Let's see how many yards he had. He had 2 touchdowns. T. Higgins had 194 yards, including one to end the half where he mossed 2 guys. One of them was just draped all over him, and he goes up and gets it. It's reviewed, and yep, they call it a catch, and it was a catch without question. The Bengals win the turnover battle 1-0 here. Von Bell gets a pick at the end. Uh, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball because the defense didn't have themselves a great game, giving up 21 to Josh Johnson. Now, I understand Josh Johnson has been in the league for a while. He's bounced around. He started before, so it's not like this is his first start ever or that he's this terrible, quarterback. And Harbaugh's a great coach, so he was going to have him ready, and he was ready. He played really well. The Ravens racked up a total of 334 yards, and they had 21 first downs and got 21 points. A lot of that had to do with Mark Andrews being an absolute stud. And we just have problems covering the tight end, and that really scares me for the game coming up here. But that being said, the defense still found a way to get it done. Got some pretty big stops on 4th down. Kept the Ravens off the field. Kept our offense on the field, and we were able to just pound the rock and then go through the air and just absolutely dice them up. I don't understand what Wink Martindale. If you haven't read it, I think everybody in Bengaldom has pretty much read it. That the defensive coordinator for the Ravens thought it was a great idea to say something about Joe Burrow and thought it was a great idea to say, oh, I believe the full quote was, we're gonna wait to give Joe Burrow a golden jacket. We're not going to do that. And insinuating that Aaron Rodgers was a better quarterback. And then on top of that, he said, we're not going to do the same way. Or we're not going to guard the Bengals the same way we did Devontae Adams with Aaron Rodgers. And they said they were going to single us up. And, everybody in the Bengals nation was like, yes, please single us up. And Joe Burrows even said it was on his mind. That comment was on his mind. Now, I don't think it was. I don't think it was intended as it came off, because it did come off pretty arrogant, and it came off like, oh, like our defense is better than your offense, and it came off that way. I don't think that's what he meant. I think it was taken out of context. But why are you trying to say anything at all, like downplaying that? Because not only Wink, I'm talking to him now, but not only are you going to be facing the Bengals for the rest of your tenure in Baltimore, you're going to be facing Joe Burrow here, and he just diced up your secondary for 525 yards. And the excuse of, well, these are just practice squad guys, is not going to fly. That doesn't fly anymore, because this is the NFL. This is what you're supposed to go out there and still put on a better showing than the Ravens did. I mean, come on, the Bengals had plenty of guys out when we played the Ravens multiple years in a row. I think last year and the year before that. And we didn't allow 525 yards of passing offense to their starting quarterback, and we didn't allow 4 touchdowns. I'm just saying. So giving any sort of bulletin board material ammunition to this style of offense is downright stupid. It really is. It's downright stupid. But anyway, that being said, the Bengals offense were able to put together a complete game. That's something that they don't usually do. They haven't been able to. They stalled out. They've had times where like their offense has gone completely limp, and when we've needed them, they have kind of shied away. But in this game around, they scored on every possession. Kevin Hubert even touched the field. There was only one missed field goal by McPherson, which was like a 50-yarder. He's got to make those. I'll be honest. He's got to make them. If you want to be Money Mac and you want to be our guy for the future, you got to make a 50-yarder. And we know he can. He made a 58-yarder in Denver that pretty much helped us win the game, really helped us win the game. But that being said, Joe Mixon had himself an okay day, did really well through the air, had 18 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Then he had another one through the air. So he had himself a really good game. Really, just it was overall offensively, the team played incredibly well. Able to go to different areas. I mean, T. Higgins had 12 receptions. Jamar had 7 receptions for 125. Tyler Boyd, 3 receptions for 85 yards and a touchdown. Joe Mixon, again, had 6 receptions for 70 yards and a touchdown through the air. And then on the ground, he also had 1. So it's just the passing offense is really starting to gel. This is what us Bengals fans have thought. Okay, this is what this team can do. This is what the Bengals offense. This is the potential that we're seeing. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be attacking through the air. We're supposed to let Joe Burrow cook. And I got to say, I'll say this. Zach Taylor got some heat from Bengals fans for keeping Joe Burrow out there for too long. I'm on Zach Taylor's team for this. I want Joe to stay out there. Number one, I did think he wanted to give Joe the record, but then on top of that, he wanted to send a message that we're going to let Joe Burrow cook. He's our quarterback for the future. We're going to let him go. And you know what? Joe's tough. Okay, he can take some hits. That's the thing. Like, I understand, we want to keep him as upright and as healthy as we possibly can, but he can take hits. He's a tough guy. So, you know what? If he takes a sack or if he takes a hit, that's called being a quarterback. We know what Joe Burrow can do. He gets right back up. I understand, we want to protect him at all costs, but that being said, he's a tough guy. So leave him out there. Let him throw the ball. Let him get hot. Let him cook. And they did. That's exactly what happened. And it's great that as Bengals fans, we were able to see, okay, this is the style of offense that we can be. This. Oh, sorry, hold on. Sorry about that. I don't know. It just keeps playing over and over again. Cincy. Sorry, my dog was digging into my carpet. A lot going on. But that being said, hold on, my camera's got to focus here. Okay, all right. So that being said, the Bengals offense is starting to do what we thought it can be. And let's think about this. We have all of our offense, all of our weapons, Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. We all have them under contract until past 2023. That's pretty amazing to get all these guys on a rookie deal. That's why we got to keep remembering that this year that's coming up, the year that we're having now, this AFC North title run that we're having, it's a year early. It really is a year early. So we got to keep remembering that. We got to keep thinking, okay, like, this year everything's really, really great, but next year is when we're really going to start to see a deep run, a Super Bowl run, a dominant run, not losing to the Jets, not losing to the Bears, getting business done, being a powerhouse in the AFC. And you're starting to see it. And I gotta say, a level of maturity came out of this team from knocking out the Ravens, because this I gotta say, this was probably the game that was going to keep the Ravens in the AFC North playoff hunt, and to basically not only go out there and beat them, but to handle business in a way that it was never really even close. I never got the feeling that the Ravens had a chance. I never got the feeling that even when the Ravens took the lead early in the game, I didn't think that they were going to win. I didn't think a lot of people in the stands thought they were going to win. They go out there and they get it done. So you see a level of maturity raised out of this group. Now, that being said, this group also has a hard time handling success. You got the high powered Kansas City Chiefs coming into Paul Brown Stadium. This is going to be a huge game, because now clinching the AFC North comes down to winning one game. The Bengals have to win one game to win the AFC North. That's it. It's as simple as that. You got to either beat Cleveland or you got to beat Kansas City at home. You're going to see the level of maturity come out of this team here when it comes down to basically, excuse me, I'm sorry. Basically, can they get it done against not only an AFC North, AFC North powerhouse? Can they get it done against an AFC powerhouse? The Kansas City Chiefs. They had back-to-back Super Bowl runs, won one, and now they're looking to head back there again. Are you going to let them come in and dictate how you're supposed to play, or are you going to show up? We've seen this team play powerhouse teams this year so far. We see all, and I go back to against Green Bay, and they played very, very well against Green Bay. But that being said, excuse me, we still got a lot of guys out on defense. We're really going to miss Logan Wilson here. We have a hard time guarding tight ends, and obviously the Chiefs have Travis Kelsey, the best tight end in the league. Personally, I think so. Behind CJ Uzomah, obviously. No. But that being said, coming from the University of Cincinnati, might I add, we have a really, really hard time. I mean, you look at George Kittle having a big day against us. You look at Mark Andrews twice having a big day against us. Luckily, just our offense was clicking and theirs wasn't. And then on top of that, you got Travis Kelsey coming in. And our linebacking room is really depleted. As good as our linebackers have played, I got to say, this is where that Bocce injury is really going to hurt, because I mean he was really playing some really good ball. He was really helping out that linebacking room, but now I mean him being gone, so now you're going to have Marcus Bailey out there, picking up the slack, and as good as Marcus Bailey can play, and as hard as he plays, and as much as I like him on the team, because I really do, um, he's not at the level of like Akeem Davis Gaither. He's not up to Joe Bocce yet. Yet he can get there, but he's not up there. He's definitely not up to Logan Wilson, who I believe is a Pro Bowler. If he didn't get hurt, he 100% was going to be going to the Pro Bowl. But that being said, we need to get a lot of these guys back here. Hopefully, DJ Reader coming back next week. Well, hopefully he is coming back next weekend. That'll be huge for the defensive line. They'll get a much better push than they did against the Ravens, which they got a decent push, but it wasn't as good as we needed to be, especially when you got Patrick Mahomes coming in here. Cheeto being back is huge. We're gonna have to line him up against Tyreek Hill. He's gonna have his money cut out for him, and so is Lou Anarumo. He's got, or his work cut out for him. Excuse me, and so is Lou Anarumo. They're really, this is gonna be. It just gets harder and harder. This is gonna be a hard week this week. How are you gonna scheme against Travis Kelsey? Because you can't let Travis beat you. That's the thing. Don't let their best player beat you. Have it be somebody else. It can even be Tyreek Hill, or some Joe Schmo receiver that their next guy up, or the next guy after that. I know they don't have Joe Schmoes there, but you know what I mean. Like, not as good as Kelsey or Hill. That being said, if you can force them to beat you in a different way, then the Bengals really have a great shot. It's going to be, again, it's having these guys out late in December. Um, is really going to be is going to be a tall task for this team. Now, that being said, do I think they could still go out and win? Absolutely. If the offense plays like they did then they will go out and win. The offensive line again has got to be better. They can't be giving up that many rushes. Joe Burrow can't be taking that many hits. I just said that Joe Burrow can take some hits. I know I just said that, but not during the game when it's 2nd and 5 and we need to get there, and he takes an 8-yard sack, and now we get third and whatever the math is. You see Matt at 3rd and 13, and now we got to convert that. Got to give these guys time. The reason is the receivers had such a great day on Sunday, and they really did. I'm not going to downplay what they did, but the offensive line played pretty well, and they gave Joe Burrow time. They gave the routes some time to develop. Again, I understand it's the Ravens practice. Well, I get it. I get that the Ravens are depleted, but shut the hell up. You know what? You know what? Let us have this. Okay, you've had plenty of it, so let us have this. But anyway, offensive line's gotta just continually get better. Carmen's probably gonna have to be out there, next week. Hopefully, we can get Reef back. I don't know when he's gonna be able to come back, but we need him out there. And, yeah, so it's gonna be huge, and it's gonna be a dogfight, and this is gonna be a real test. Where is this Bengals team exactly to the rest of the league? We know where they are in the AFC North. We know that this team could probably win the AFC North title for years to come, and really kind of dominate this division. I mean, it just you look around the rest of the AFC North, you just I mean, who can step up against them? I understand the Browns obviously put up 45 on us in our own house, but that's a day that Nick Chubb just went off, and then just everything wasn't working out. It's one of those NFL games days. But they've been looking terrible. Baker's been looking terrible. They got to make a decision on him. They got to either pay him or pick up another quarterback. And that being said, you really you start, but that being said, so the AFC North, you're pretty confident that the Bengals will win for years to come. But now you got to look at the AFC because winning the AFC North is great. It's all nice. That's not the final goal. Obviously, the final goal is obviously to win the Super Bowl, and that's what we got to be looking at. We got to look at how we are against the Chiefs, the Bills, Patriots, Titans. How these guys that we're going to be seeing for the rest of Joe Burrow's tenure, can we compete with them? Can we go out there and win? Can we go out there and win big games and secure titles and secure seeding and secure home playoff games? Because you win here, Bengals get a home playoff game no matter what. Stripe Squad's back out there. This is going to be a great test. I'm excited for it. If you're a betting man, which I am, take the over. It's definitely going to hit. Knock on wood, but it's definitely going to hit. But yeah, so hopefully the Bengals can go out there and get a win. I always predict the Bengals win. So I think if the Bengals are going to win, I would say it's going to be definitely in the higher part of the scoring column. So I'll say it's probably around 35-42 or 35-28, somewhere around there, somewhere in that range. It's gonna be a really good game. Could it come down to special teams? Could it come down to kicking, which I like our kicking game better than I like the Chiefs kicking game. So you really it's gonna be a dogfight. You got to see what happens on the COVID list too. You never know. Maybe a last second, like okay, and he's out, like which is not fun at all. But anyway, again, I got to say congratulations to Joe Burrow for becoming the single game passing yards or for securing the single game passing yards record at 525 and throwing 4 touchdowns. T. Higgins again, 1,000 yards, showing how great he is on offense. Tyler Boyd again having himself. He's close to getting to 1,000 yards, and he's getting more targets, and he's making the most of them. So you got to have hats off to him. So that being said, we got a lot to cover here, and yeah, the Bengals get it done against the Ravens, and that's probably going to be it for me. I wish I had a guest that we could keep this going, keep kind of bouncing ideas off of each other, but couldn't find anybody last minute. I had some plans for a guest, but it didn't quite work out. That being said, it's going to be really tough to put out a new podcast for previewing the Chiefs. I'm going to be on the road starting tomorrow. Can't wait. Going down to Dallas to go watch the University of Cincinnati Bearcats absolutely blister the Crimson Tide. Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be trying to write my blog on the way down there because I am not driving. Thank God. My friends, family, I'm going with them. Thank God they were like, "Hey, we got an extra ticket. You want to go?" Yep, I'm locked in. So it'll be a lot of fun. If you're down in Dallas, would love to see you. I'll be tweeting the entire time. It's going to be great, and can't wait to see you down there. So go Bearcats, and then on Sunday, I'll see you back there. I will be back for the game. We'll be back for Stripe Squad. Can't wait to see Bengal Jim being the rule of the jungle. What a pick! I mean, that's exactly what we needed to it. And honestly, if we get that home playoff game, which I'm predicting that we do, I think you got to have a Bearcat. You got to have Desmond Ritter, or you got to have Luke Fickle do it. I mean, you just do. You just do. That being said, this has been the Back Row Bengals Show, all brought to you by fansided.com. Go over there, read my blogs, read other people's blogs, read everybody's blogs. We got plenty of content. Listen to all my podcasts, the Back Row Bengals Show. If you like college football, we do a college football show every Wednesday. We've been doing it leading up to the college football playoff. It's going to be hard to get one in tomorrow. We might try to, but anyway, we're gonna do our best. Tonight at 5:30, I will be going on the Ed Robinson Show. I believe he broadcasts out of Louisiana. Can't wait to go on and talk with him. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a really good time. So listen in. I'll share that audio later if you can't find it. So, but last time I called with him, we had a great chat about the Bengals, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. All right, y'all. See ya. Have a great New Year's Eve, and go Bearcats. Watch some football, and let's get a W on Saturday and Sunday. Or I'm sorry, Friday and Sunday. Friday and Sunday. All right. See y'all.